It's your boy, Jeff Jones.
You know who it is. It's the upset specialist in the house, Thomas Boykin.
And our boy Mike Jones is not joining us tonight. And this is 234 Sports Talk. Let's talk about it. Let's talk
Let's
about it.
do it. Let's do it.
All right, Tom, let's talk some boxing, man.
Yes, sir.
Big fight coming up July 29th. Welterweight title fight between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford.
Mm.
As you look at these two fighters, Tom, what do you think? What's your prediction for this? I've heard a lot of people talk about it, but I want to know what the upset specialist thinks about this fight. Who will win?
Spence in trouble. That's what I think about this fight. Spence is in big, big trouble. Why you question this guy's toughness and who he's fought, the record is undeniable. It speaks for itself. And he's had more fights. Don't get it twisted. Spence is a talented fighter. I'm not taking anything from Spence. Spence is a very talented fighter. But Bud is on another planet when it comes to boxing, dude. This dude is a destroyer at all angles. It don't matter what angle you give him, what position you give him. He figures out how to attack you and is relentless with attacking you and putting pressure on you and making you see what you can do under pressure. I don't know if Spence is ready for that. Nobody, if you sit back and look at the fights that Spence has fought, nobody has really pressured Spence. Spence has done all the pressuring. Nobody's retaliated. This is going to be a fight where he's going to see retaliation because Bud ain't going to back up. So, for me, I think Spence is in trouble. I think Bud wins this fight in a decision. I don't think he's going to knock him out. I think it'll be a decision.
When you look at this fight, do you believe that? Spence is known to put pressure on fighters. So you don't believe that he can put pressure on Crawford?
I believe he'll try. But I believe Crawford is on a place. Crawford is in a place where he's letting Spence do all the talking. If you sit back and look at it, he's letting Spence do all the talking. Bud is going to let his fighting style do the talking for him. Because I've always been taught those that like to run their mouth ain't going to run their business. Just saying. There's only been few that's been able to run their mouth and their business at the same time. Very few.
Well, when we look at these two fighters, let's talk about the tail of the tape, Tom. Errol Spence is 33 years old. Crawford is 35. 2 years age difference.
That's not bad.
When you look at the fights, Spence has had 28 fights to Crawford's 39. Spence has 28 wins to Crawford's 39 wins. They both have no losses. We know that.
Right.
Spence has 22 knockouts. Crawford has 30 knockouts. Now, Spence is 5'9", while Crawford is 5'8". And then you look at the reach. Spence has a 72-inch reach, and Crawford has a 2-inch reach advantage at 74 inches. And when we look at the tail of the tape, do you think that that reach will help Crawford?
Oh yeah. That 2-inch reach with jab is gonna make all the difference. 2 inches, if you think about it, 2 inches is a lot when you're talking about boxing and you're talking about keeping a guy off of you. 2 inches is a lot. To extend out and keep somebody back, that's a lot. And he's not gonna be throwing that jab in slow motion either. I'm just saying that's gonna be a problem. Because as you say, Spence likes to pressure people. That's what that jab is for, to keep that pressure off. You're going to come in, catch that jab. He's going to catch that jab so many times, he's going to stop coming in.
I think he's just going to keep him out, keep his rhythm out. And just mess up his rhythm and his timing. When we look at, these two fighters, you know, what comes to mind to me with me is the fight that they had with Porter. Both of them fought Porter. When you
Mm-hmm.
look at both of the, you know, as far as Crawford, we know what he did. Crawford was behind, and then Crawford found out he was behind. They talked to him in the corner. Crawford came out, and he clicked. He turned into another animal, and he put in work, and he was able to stop Porter. Where Spence, you know, he got him in trouble, and we know that his dad, talking about Porter's dad, actually stopped the fight because he knew what Spence was about to do to his son. And Spencer said that Crawford, I mean, when Crawford fought Porter, he said that Porter's mind wasn't there, that Porter really wasn't totally there. He wasn't training, that he was pretty much thinking about retiring, you know, pretty much said stuff like that. Then said that, you know, pretty much saying that when he fought Crawford, that's why Crawford beat him. What do you think when you think about these two fighters and their fight with Porter?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have a moment as a fighter where sometimes the first couple rounds things just don't click. You got to feel out. Sometimes the feel out process takes a little longer than expected. And while you're trying to fill him out, this dude is steady getting his in while you're trying to fill him out. Well, case in point, I believe, and I'm a Bud fan, I love Bud, but I'm a firm believer the first couple rounds, Terence was in the fight. Them last couple rounds, Bud was in the fight. I'm just saying. So, I mean, I have never seen anybody that has two personalities as a fighter. That's new to me, but that's him. And he seems to be able to hit Bud when he wants to hit Bud. I gotta see what I gotta see from Spence is how he reacts to pressure being put on him. Because you haven't really seen anybody pressure Spence. You see people let Spence do what he does, walk in, bop, bop. Yeah, he gets walking all they let him get in rhythm. I don't think Bud's gonna let him get in rhythm.
You know, when I look at this, I kind of feel like Crawford is going to come and do what he I mean, not Crawford, but Spence. I feel like Spence is going to come in and do what he does. I think he's going to bring the fight to Crawford. I really do. I think that's what he's going to do because, you know, that's how he fights. He's going to be cautious, of course, but I think he's going to try to bring the fight to him. And when I look at this, I think that's going to be his downfall. I think
Yeah.
because when we look at Crawford, Crawford is a crafty boxer, man. I mean, the guy knows all the tricks of the trade, man. And I think that he's going to allow Spence to come in and be aggressive. And I think that that's going to be his downfall. He's going to catch him with something because he's going to get, you know, uh, when he come in there thinking that, you know, he's going to have his way and he's going to get
Exactly.
caught. He's going
Exactly.
to catch him slipping.
Exactly.
And I don't think it's going to be a knockout.
No, I still think it's gonna be a split decision.
Yeah, I think the fight is going to go to the judges. It's going to, you know, I don't
Mm-hmm.
see anybody getting knocked out. I really don't. But I do feel this way that if anybody does get knocked out, it's going to be Spence.
That's my feeling too. That's my feeling too. I think, like you said, I don't think what Spence doesn't understand is Bud don't mind standing still and trading with you. He's not gonna back away from it. Bud is not gonna be like, well, you're pressing, I'm gonna back up. No, Bud gonna meet you head to head. If you want to go quarters, we can go quarters. But I mean, I still think it's gonna be a split decision. But if anybody gets knocked out, I believe it'll be Spence.
Well, I think it's going to be a great fight. You
Oh, it's
know,
gonna
and
be a whale of a fight.
they've
It's
talked to
gonna
a
be a whale of
lot
a
of
fight.
former boxers, current boxers, and got their opinions and predictions for this fight. And a lot of people are, you know, some just said, man, you know, it's a toss up, 50-50. You know, I truthfully, any one of these guys can win. I mean, you know, they're just that good. Any one of these guys can win.
Oh yeah,
But
without question.
But when you look at it, man, I think that Bud is gonna shock the world. I think Bud is gonna shock the world. I really do.
I think the one thing that Bud really has in his favor is hand speed. I think don't get it wrong. Spence got great hand speed, but I think Bud's hand speed is just a little quicker.
Well, both of these guys are pretty quick, man. But we're gonna see what happens, man, because it's going down July 29th.
Oh yeah,
And somebody at the end of this fight, unless that them zeros is gonna disappear.
Well,
Them zeros. Hopefully, we don't see no draws, but
that's why I said that's what Spence said. Somebody's old gotta go.
somebody's old gotta go.
Yep.
And I kind of feel like Spence is taking Bud lightly because he's talking about his resume. Who has he fought? And a lot of people saying, oh, he fought. Or, I've seen comments saying that Bud and fought cab drivers. Guys that ain't really nobodies. And then you look for sure when you look at Spence's resume, he's fought more bigger names. But at the same time, man, we talking about a dangerous man here. We talking about a dangerous man.
Sometimes that
and
name
Terence Crawford is a dangerous man.
Those names are false leading too. Sometimes them underwriters are gonna bring you a better quality fight because they're up and coming and hungry. They're gonna bring you a better quality fight. So while you're looking at, well, he ain't that established, he's still an up and coming and young hungry fighter. And to dispatch those kind of fighters is work.
Well, July 29th, upset specialist. We gonna find out who's the real deal. Will it be Spence?
I think it'll be Bud Crawford, I do believe.
Or will it be Crawford? All right, let's talk some NBA free agent tracker. Let's talk about it. A lot of movement been going on in the NBA. Just want to talk about some things that have taken place. Kyrie Irving, we know he re-signed with Dallas. 3 years, $126 million.
I don't think he'll last.
When we look at Kyrie Irving, I really thought that Kyrie would really be going somewhere else. I really didn't think he would re-sign with Dallas. Do you think? And I still don't think that they have enough.
No.
I mean, they're making some moves, but I still don't think that they have enough to even be some type of contender. They may make the playoffs, but I don't think they'll be a contender in the West.
What he's got to understand is, yeah, you made $120 million, but that's still Luka's team. Hands down. How Luka rolls, they roll. Now, what they need to do if they're going to leave Kyrie there, they need to add some pieces down low and on the wings, just to take some pressure off of both him and Luka. But Kyrie, as we know, is one of them cats that like the ball in his hand. And if you take the ball out of Luka's hand, come on, man. Luka's done too much for Dallas for it not to be in his hand. You're just coming in. Yeah, we know you got handles. Yeah, we know you won a championship with LeBron. Yeah, we know that. But my resume states this. It's like Janet Jackson. What have you done for me lately? Plain and simple. After you won a championship with Cleveland, ain't been back to the final since. Barely making the playoffs. And when he got there, he got swept. And that was with Kevin Durant. And that was with you coming out game one, scoring 46-47. So to me, I don't know if he's going to last in Dallas 3 years. I don't know if Cuban is going to allow him to last 3 years in Dallas. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Because the other thing that I don't like about Kyrie is he spends a lot of time on the sidelines. A lot of time on the sidelines where Luka, you don't hear about Luka missing too many games. It's all going to be show and prove. We'll see what happens.
All right, some other movement that has taken place. Fred VanVleet, 3-year, $130 million deal with the Houston Rockets. And also, the Rockets signed Dylan Brooks to an $80 million contract, 4 years. And then just to run down the line, Brook Lopez returned to the Milwaukee Bucks, 2-year, $48 million deal. Chris Middleton signed a 3-year, $102 million deal with the Bucks. Of course, they signed Crowder again. They brought back in Robin Lopez.
Yeah,
so they got the Twin Towers in Milwaukee. When you look at the Milwaukee Bucks, you think that these guys are stacking up to make a run?
Oh, yeah, man. I like what they're doing with their roster. I just want to see what kind of offense they're going to run, and I want to see how they are going to be defensively. If they can get both the Lopez's on the same page defensively, the East is in trouble. The East is in big trouble. And with Boston trading away all their defense, that's going to be a problem.
Do you think anything is lacking in Milwaukee? You think they need another piece somewhere?
I still think, although I like your guard, I still think you need a point guard.
A backup for Drew Holiday is?
I still think you need a point guard for coming off the bench. And probably another 2 to back up Middleton. But everything else in the post, y'all are deep in the post. The Bucks are real deep with low post play. So it's going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem. They're going to be a tough out.
Well, when we look at your team, upset specialist, big LA Laker fan.
Absolutely.
Signed D'Angelo Russell to a 2-year, $37 million contract. Got Gabe Vincent from Miami. 3 years, $33 million. And then, of course, we signed Austin Reeves, 4 years, $56 million. When you look at
AR, dude, gotta resign AR.
When you look at your Lakers, you think that your Lakers are a real contender to come out of the West with the moves that they've made?
I think if they start the season where they ended the season before that last series with Denver, I think they'll make a big run. I think they'll make a big run. Barring foot popping, barring knee popping, barring, I don't know, I don't want to play this game. Barring that, and barring if AD decides I'm going to play 48 minutes versus 20, then yeah, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. I still think we need to beef up the post with somebody to back up AD and somebody really to back up LeBron when LeBron goes off the floor. But I think we'll still make a good push. I still think I'm not saying we'll make a championship push, but we'll make a really good push. We're going to make the playoffs, that's for sure. We're going to make the playoffs big time.
Definitely. Rob Pelinka is man, pull some strings out there. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Every time, the Lakers come up, I was one of the biggest doubters of Rob Pelinka earlier. And then when he pulled off some moves, man, that pretty much turned you guys into a contender. And then these recent moves, man, hey, my hat is off to him as a GM. He's putting in work out there. My hat is off to him.
Hey, that trade he made at the break last year, ridiculous trade, and it paid off. Hats off to the guy. He wasn't scared to make moves that needed to be made.
He pulled that one out of his sleeve, man.
Man, listen, he pulled a rabbit out of his hat with that one.
Yes, sir. And it paid off.
Absolutely.
Well, let's talk about the NBA Summer League. We know that Victor Wembanyama, he made his debut the other night. When we look at the 19-year-old What did you think as you watched him play? Do you think that this, the hype is all there? I mean, they've been talking about him. Drafted #1 by the San Antonio Spurs. The kid is 7'3.5" without his shoes. 19 years old, 209 pounds. Got an 8-foot wingspan. Now, when you look at this kid, he had 9 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 blocks. He went 2 of 13 from the field, but the Spurs won 76-68. When you look at this kid, what do you think about him? I mean, he didn't do too good. He thought he could have did a little bit better. He said next time he'll do better, but word on the street is they have shut him down. He will not be playing or participating in the summer league. But as you look at this kid, what do you think he needs to do to make it in today's NBA?
I think he's got the tools. It's just a matter of going out and playing confident basketball. Make the shots you know you can make. Put yourself in positions that you know you can be successful. He knows where his hot spots is on the floor. We know he can play an all-around basketball game. But I think what Popovich is going to drill in him is get to your spots where you know beyond a shadow of a doubt it's money. It's if I put myself in this spot, it's going to be a great pass. It's going to be a great shot. It's going to be triple threat position. I think that's what Popovich is going to bring to the table for him, which is what he needs. He's not going to let him go outside of what he can do. He's going to basically give him some type of parameters to be like, look, in this range here, this is the range I want you to work in right here. Because as you know, most overseas guys are shooting the threes, especially the big guys. They're shooting threes, which Webb can shoot the threes. I don't think he shot it at a great percentage, but he can shoot it. Me, myself, I would take him down mid-range and lower and let him work that way, because at 7'3" with an 8-foot wingspan and we not adding jumping with it, who's going to block that? That's stuff you can't coach. That's stuff you can't teach. But the guy's got a whole lot of potential. He's got sky for the limit. He can do some things.
My only concern, when we look at it, definitely the raw talent is there. You can see the skills, man. At 7'3", I mean, he has handles. The kid has handles at 7'3", man. This is just sick, man. It's almost like 2K when you make your guy.
Yep.
It just ain't fair, man.
Yep.
But 7'3", man, with handles, I mean, can shoot the three, man. You don't see that. You just don't see guys over 7 foot, able to do that. I mean, we look at Kevin Garnett, able to do what he does. But this kid is special, man. You see the raw talent there. But the only thing that worries me about him, Tom, is weight. 209 pounds. You look at this kid, he's a giant. But when you look at him, he's a bony giant. And
fragile.
What do you think? You think you'll be able to bang in there with the big boys?
I think really the only thing that he's going to really have to contend with strength-wise is legs. Upper body, not so much. Because with a lot of people think that you got to take upper body strength to bang. No, it takes lower body strength to bang. And you got to have a strong base to bang. So the only thing I would say, he would have to get stronger in his legs. Once he gets his legs together, yeah, he'll be fine.
And I do recall that when Giannis came in the league, Giannis was skin and bones, but Giannis got in that weight room, and man, Giannis is something else, man. Giannis is a monster.
If you go back and look at it, Manute Bol really didn't put on no weight, but Manute was standing in the middle and swat shots away left and right. Same thing with they might not have the skill set that Wembanyama has, but they had the height that Wembanyama has. Manute was taller than what Wembanyama was.
Well, good news for him is Greg Popovich just signed a 5-year contract, 5-year, $80 million contract with the Spurs to remain as their coach. Also running the operations.
I think that's a grooming move. I think that's a grooming move so he can groom Vic into a great basketball player. And so he can teach Vic how to roll with his teammates and still get what he needs to get done. I think that was a great move by Pop.
And he also has company to help out with Wembanyama. Definitely, when you look at Tim Duncan, you look at David Robinson, still working real close with the Spurs organization.
Absolutely.
He definitely has some great teachers, man, that'll help him elevate his game. And I think this kid is gonna be something special, man. I mean, just a little bit that we got to see, in summer league with him. I think the kid gonna be something special, man.
I believe, and people might not believe it, but I believe before it's all said and done, he's gonna have some influence from Kareem in the business too. Watch what I tell you. Kareem is gonna have some kind of influence on his game where he develops some kind of shot that he might even bring the skyhook back. Never know.
Yeah, it remains to be seen. Remains to be seen.
Stranger things have happened.
Well, it's been a real one, Tom.
Yes, sir.
Talked about it until the next time. It's been 234 Sports Talk. You can catch us right here on YouTube. You can catch us on TikTok. You can catch us on Instagram. You can catch us on Twitter. And we want to hear from you. Want you to want you to subscribe. We want to hear from you. If there's anything that you want to talk about, if there's something that you agree with or disagree with, we want to hear it. Just go on and put it in the comments, and we answer every single comment. But until the next time, it's been a real one. It's been 234 Sports Talk. We out.
Shout out to our boy Mike Jones.
Mike Jones. Peace.
Peace.